We are live and in person today talking about storm preparedness. I have the pleasure of speaking with Regina Cave, the city's new General Services Director. Regina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So before we dive in, a couple of things. If you're watching this live and you have comments or questions about preparing your home in Citrus Heights for storm season, go ahead and comment them. We're monitoring those and we'll take them as they roll in. And then before we really dive in, I have to say congratulations. Regina was just announced this week as the city's new General Services Director. I don't want to say you're new because you've been here for a long time. So before we dive in, talk to us about your work and what you do for the city.
Yeah, so I've been here almost 22 years. I started here in April of 2000. I'm a longtime employee here at Citrus Heights, and so I've been here in the General Services Department the entire time. So I'm really excited to be leading the team and kind of leading forward with new executives just across the board here over at the city.
Awesome. Well, we're so excited and congratulations again.
Thank you.
So if you didn't catch that, Regina has over 20 years of experience in Citrus Heights. So she is the ultimate expert. And today we're going to talk about storm preparedness.
Yes.
So as we dive in, again, we'll take your questions as they roll in live. Let's start out with sandbags. So we had Becca on Instagram asked us if the city will be hosting our free sandbags for residents again. So talk us through that.
Yeah, so we do have two Sandbag sites here in Citrus Heights. We have one right behind me over here at City Hall on our campus, and we have one across town to make it a little bit more convenient for those around the Oak Avenue location. It's over at Seabarsea Park. We keep both locations stocked with sand, and we do issue sandbags here out of City Hall. So if you come by between Monday and Friday during business hours, provide proof of residency here in Citrus Heights, you will be receive one of these, and it's a roll of up to 10 bags. Now, depending on the size of your vehicle, you might be only able to accommodate 10 bags by weight, or you can have a truck and you can accommodate weight for about 20 bags.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. So you were sharing, I mean, obviously sandbags are very heavy, and it wasn't a natural thought to me to think like you could overweight your car. So you've got to be careful there. What are recommendations on like how far you should fill these bags?
Yeah, so pretty soon we'll go over and meet with the staff member who will show us how to fill the bags. But really, you only want to fill them about halfway, just based upon the proper way of filling and how you will place them to maximize use of the bags to prevent flooding on your property. You really don't want to go more than about halfway.
Okay, awesome. Good to know. So yeah, as Regina just said, we're live and in person here today because after we roll through a couple of frequently asked questions, we'll be walking over to the city's Sandbag Station at City Hall to show you how to properly fill bags. So I feel like that covers good logistics. Oh, we did get a comment just a couple minutes ago from Monica on Facebook. She was wondering what she should do if she doesn't have a shovel and she needs sandbags.
So you can be creative if you have maybe a small pail or a bucket. If you have something like either a scoop that you can use, just keep in mind that the sand is heavy, and even more so now because it's wet. And so you want to make sure that whatever you're using can withstand that weight. If you don't have something like that, you can also be creative. If you happen to have a container, an empty one, something like this, that has a handle, you can cut one of the corners off to make it a scoop and use that as well. But again, keep in mind that it is plastic, so it can only handle so much weight as well.
Awesome. And then I did hear from one of our staff members, we're going to try to leave a shovel out over the weekend, but as you can imagine, sometimes those go missing. So it's best if you can prepare your own scoop. I actually think if you're coming to fill a sandbag by yourself, a scoop is a little bit easier than an actual shovel.
That's correct. Sometimes it gets a little wonky out there trying to hold the bag at the same time.
Especially if you're doing this in the rain.
Yes.
So you mentioned, I mean, obviously we had almost 200 days of no rain, and we've got it now, which is exciting. But if you're coming to get sandbags, likely you're going to be worried about some flooding. So where should someone place sandbags at their home?
So hopefully this is not your first season dealing with rain, and if it is, welcome to Citrus Heights. But you'll want to look and see on your property where are some of your lowest points of access into your dwelling or into your home. So if your property is at level with the street or slightly below in grade, and meaning your driveway dips down, and you'll want to look to see where you can place them around your garage to prevent water from coming into your garage, from your front door, your front porch. And also don't forget sliding doors, back doors. A lot of times folks forget about that, and you might get water coming in from there. Also, if you have a pool and we have a lot of rain coming down, it'll fill your pool quicker, and then you might have runoff from the pool and into your back of your house.
Awesome. Yeah. So great tips. Place those sandbags at low points of your home. Keep an eye on your pool. And if you're new to Citrus Heights, welcome. Another thing you might not know is that the city is home to a lot of creeks. So when we talk about storm preparedness, I know that a lot of our neighbors, their properties back up to creeks. What are some of the things, if you're preparing your home, you should keep an eye on or know about?
Well, keep an eye on the creek levels. There are some good information through Sac County, and we'll be posting on our website as well at citrusheights.net, that there's links to see where they're monitoring the creeks. We have a couple locations here in the city just to see how high those creek levels are getting, and if you back up to those properties, you're going to want to know when they're cresting, and just monitor the weather as well. Also, we would appreciate if all of our residents who do live along the creeks, if you happen to see any trees that are down or anything that looks like it could be blocking or preventing water flow, please be sure to call us at 916-727-4770. That's our General Services Department, and we can have our crews go check it out immediately.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll drop that information into the comments section too, so you can grab it there. I know that we have a team that frequently cleans up our creeks, but again, if you see it and you report it, it's going to get addressed so much quicker.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you to everyone tuning in live. This is Citrus Highlights, and we're doing it in person. And one of the joys of doing this in person is that we have props. So we're talking about storm preparedness and obviously focused on rainfall and flooding measures, but I know that there's some general preparedness tips you wanted to talk through too. So show us some of your props and your tips.
So being an older city, we also rely heavily on our electricity being provided overhead, and so there's some chances during storm season that we might experience some power outages, whether it's from lightning, wind, trees falling, and so we want to make sure that, just as a reminder, as part of your emergency preparedness in general, but especially during the storm season, make sure that you have flashlights available, batteries on hand. We tend to rely more so on cell phones now, not so much on home phones, so make sure if you do have any portable battery chargers, keep them charged and ready to go. Of course, chargers for your car. You can always charge your phones in your car as well. Keep water on hand. The necessities: toilet paper, food, dry foods, canned goods, etc., just to get you through a couple days. But we will have information also on our website, just kind of a checklist and reminder of what to keep for emergencies.
Awesome. Yeah, so let this first kind of big rainfall of the season be your reminder to prepare all these things. I have a portable charger just like this, but I have no idea the last time I charged it. So this is your reminder to get those items ready and just get prepared for storm season. So a couple of the other frequently asked questions that we wanted to address was around our trees and leaf fall. So Citrus Heights is a Tree City USA, 3rd year in a row we've got that. So we've got a lush urban forest here. But with that, in storm season, obviously comes, heavy leaf fall. So talk us through a couple ways people can prepare our storm drains and maybe our yards and our gutters for storm season.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are blessed with so many trees around the city, and then we're still in leaf drop season just at the beginning, and so we're going to see a lot of leaves falling over the next couple months. To help with that, the city does up its street sweeping schedule. So for the months of November, December, and January, our street sweeper contractor, Well Sweeping, goes through the city twice a month. Having said that, it is not intended that they will pick up all of the leaves, and so it's important that our residents understand that we would really appreciate if you don't blow all of your leaves from your yard into the street. Rather, if you can rake them up, and you can put up to 6 bags, large yard bags, out with your green waste pickup every 2 weeks, and there's no extra charge. And that will also help to keep the drains clear and will help prevent a lot of that localized flooding and the clogging of the storm drain system.
Awesome. Yeah, so in addition to your green cans, 6 bags, six large bags of leaves. So that's great.
Yes.
That's great service. And then you just touched on storm drains. So that's a great maintenance. But let's say we're in the middle of a storm and we see that our storm drain is clogged. What should we do?
Call General Services Department. Again, 916-727-4770, especially if the creeks aren't particularly high and you're seeing localized flooding on a street. Most likely it's because the drain is clogged and that it's not a capacity issue with the storm drain system. So either way, give us a call. We've got crews. We'll come out and check it out and hopefully get it remedied immediately.
Yeah, so speaking of those crews, it seems like so long ago, but January of this year, we had that crazy storm roll through the city, and I know your general services team responded to like over 23 down trees, and then there were like street lights out. Is that the same number that you would call if you see a down tree? and out street lights.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that same number, and we do have 24-hour on-call emergency services. And so if you don't get a live body after hours or on the weekends, it'll run through our dispatch at the police department, and they will make contact with us.
Awesome. Yeah, I know sometimes some of our neighbors just think, oh, the city sees that and I shouldn't call it in. But I know you're very passionate about, please call and let us know.
Yes, we rely on our residents and our businesses to let us know if there's any emergencies. We just can't see everything, and so we really rely on our residents to report for us.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, we are live with you, and I'm watching the comments section. I don't see any comments yet, so we'll continue to roll through our frequently asked questions. We've talked about if you live near a creek, how to fill up your sandbags, and we'll actually show you a live demonstration. We've talked about extra leaf pickup. So I think the last topic is really down trees. And you mentioned that, coming out of a dry season, that our trees are maybe a little bit more vulnerable. So what should people be on the lookout for there?
Be on the lookout if you see any sagging, any of your branches starting to sag on your property. If you do have any trees that do fall in the right of way and impact sidewalks or streets, we do have limitations, but we can come out and help at least to remove it from the public right of way. If you see any public trees, again, along creeks or along any of our major roadways, please be sure to give us a call.
Awesome. Yes, if you see it, report it. That's like the theme today. All right, so I think without further ado, we'll go ahead and head on over to the Sandbag Station. So if you're joining us live, I'm actually going to pick up the camera and walk us over there and show you guys how to fill up a sandbag. And we are going to be joined by Armando. Regina, tell us who Armando is and what he does on the General Services team.
Armando is our field maintenance and construction inspector supervisor. He is my right hand. He helps to manage all of the maintenance operations that go on throughout the city, whether that's for creeks, landscape, trees, roads, sidewalks, homeless camp cleanups, you name it. And so he definitely is my right hand.
Awesome. And Armando has graciously agreed to show us how you fill a sandbag.
Good afternoon, all.
At the Citrus Heights City Hall Sandbag Station.
I have a couple of examples here. This is a sandbag that is not a good sandbag. It's overfilled. Try to put this sandbag in your car, you're going to overload your car. The weight of it's probably a good 70 to 75 pounds. This is a perfect sandbag. This is a sandbag that can be carried by most people, and they're easier to manage at home. I also gave an example that the drawstrings are meant for delivering.
Sure.
So if you leave them like this, so the proper way to lay down a sandbag is going to be like this, but I'll show you real quick why these drawstrings are for. They're pretty much just for transportation. Just give it a little twist. And what I always encourage everybody is to give it one knot and then not another knot, because you want to kind of open it back up once you get to the house. So that way when you take it back to your house, you can open it up.
All right.
So the reason why it's easy to undo. And then the way we want to stack them is obviously like brick layers, like kind of like if you're building a wall.
Yeah.
And then so the reason why you want them so loose and not like this, because this sandbag's going to go right there, so it'll tie in, it'll fill in the voids.
Gotcha. So you do like a brick lay technique.
Correct.
And now you said this one weighs 70 pounds, so...
70 pounds, and it's a lot of weight for an average person, even for myself. It's too much. I mean, try to carry these things to your backyard. By the end of your job, you'll be...
Yeah, even getting that in my car would be difficult for me. Awesome.
Right.
So
each bag has approximately 4 to 5 scoops of shovel. Basically what we're looking for is to fill the sandbag halfway, no more than 2/3 of the way to the top. So if you look, it's approximately about halfway.
Awesome.
And it's just easier to manage. And then once you get to your spot, to your place, your home or business, again, it's easier to manage. And then, but the reason why there's so much slack is because you want these things to be pliable.
awesome.
That way they're flexible.
So to lay
like this,
down.
they're a brick. It's hard to work with.
All right, so the moral of the story is don't overfill your sandbag And silence your cell phone when you're in a live interview. Just kidding. You're fine. All right, it's proof that we're actually live. So now we're going to show, demonstrate how you fill. So if you're coming here on a weekend or after hours, you'll need to bring your own bags, but there's a number to call to get those bags. If you're using a shovel, it looks like the buddy system is best.
And it's usually about four to five scoops. I like using 5. And it brings it halfway full.
All right,
And it's a
4
lot
to
easier
5
to
scoops.
Yeah, and it's easier to manage. And again, these draw tags are just for transportation only.
Gotcha.
So if you give it a little twist like this, and then kind of do your little knot, like you're tying your shoe, and then obviously a little bow like that. That way you can grab it.
Awesome. So do you anticipate that this station is going to be busy?
I anticipate it will be busy. Yes, it will be busy in the next 48 hours.
Awesome. All right, so if you need your sandbags, come on down to City Hall or get your bags here and head over to C-Bar-C Park, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, great. Well, that concludes our interview. Thank you both so much.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Stay safe, everybody.